Hey guys, it's about 10 minutes after 9 on Saturday, October 18th. I generally make really bad financial decisions, but I made a really good decision today. I did something that was free. I went to the No Kings rally, and that was free. Uh, I went in San Francisco, met up with a group of, my God, there must have been 20 of them, like 20 old friends, many of whom I haven't seen in several years. My brother Falcon was there. Um, Ed was there. Emily was there. Jen was there. There were so many people in the group that uh, I hadn't seen in so long. It was fantastic. It was great. We met at the Ferry Building. I got to see Paul. That was always good. Um, so many old friends, and then we did the protest thing. There were a ridiculous amount of people there. It felt significantly bigger than the march that we did last June, the No Kings March that we did last June. Michael was there. Uh, I'm trying to remember who else. Jody and her husband were there. Uh, it was just so great to reconnect with a lot of old friends, and we did the march. And I mean, like if you know San Francisco, you know that Market Street kind of runs. This will probably reverse it, so it may be. I mean, Market Street kind of runs at an angle through the upper quarter of the city, the upper right quarter of the city, and City Hall's kind of down towards the bottom, and the Ferry Building's up toward the top. So we marched that whole length, and then headed over to the City Hall, the Civic Center area, and they had a big stage and all of that stuff set up. We ran into some other friends along the way. My buddy Craig was with us the whole day. Hadn't seen Craig in a while. Craig is an absolutely fantastic human being, even though he's Canadian. Craig's a great guy. Dude can rebuild motorcycle engines better than any other human being I've ever met in my entire life. It was just really great to connect with a lot of old friends, and we saw a bunch of other friends along the way, and a bunch of new friends came up and said hi. They're like, I know you from the internet. I was like, yeah. Just absolutely fantastic day. Just totally, thoroughly, absolutely amazing, wonderful day. Um, I needed that kind of recharge, and we were among tens of thousands of other people who, uh, have an extreme dislike of the things that are happening in this country right now. And so I'm going to try to figure out like where to go from here with all of that, because today was a fun day. I don't know that it's appropriate to be having fun at an event where you're supposed to be fighting fascism, but you know. Anyway, I saw a guy who had an absolutely amazing sign that said, "I am very upset about all of this," and that's going to be my next. That's going to be my protest sign from here on out. And then on the back, it'll have a picture of Stephen Miller, and underneath that, it's going to say, "Dickless naked mole rat." That's going to be my protest setup from here on out. But I hope everybody had an amazing day. I was incredibly happy to learn the next few facts once I got home. Over 7 million people showed up nationwide. That's a dramatically higher number than the number of people who showed up this past June for the same protest march. There was no violence at any of these events. There were 26 or 2,700 different No Kings protest events today. There was no violence. In New York City, I guess there were a couple of 100,000 people who showed up. According to the New York Police Department, there were 0 arrests related to the protest march today. 0. So much for these protests being Hamas, pro-Hamas, Marxists, Antifa, domestic violence, extremists, and terrorists. So every single elected Republican who has been saying that shit for the last 2 weeks, go fuck yourself. None of that happened today. We all showed up anyway, despite your shitty, incendiary rhetoric designed to make every MAGA supporter with an IQ under 60 hate us. You guys couldn't even get your shit together to have agitators or instigators work their way into the crowd to actually cause some violence. It's like, if you guys had any fucking operational competence, you would have at least been able to do that. You couldn't even do that. 0 violence, 0 arrests, 0 of anything other than people using their First Amendment rights in a nonviolent manner in absolutely massive numbers. It was a great day. I'm happy I went. And but it's not going to change anything. So I got to figure out how we can make today change things. But it was a great day.